All right. What's going on, party people? A little late night notary talk. I tell you, every time I hop on a thing with y'all, orders start popping in and everything. So now I hate doing this. I know y'all like, man, why you doing this All right. So this here is 10 a.m. tomorrow or Thursday. I'm already booked. I can't do it. So I got to tell them what I will tell them is uh, already booked, already booked at that time, but available at 8 a.m. So, but available at 8 a.m. So what I'm doing here is there's a order that's for 10 a.m. I'm already booked. It's in my zip code, but I can do it at 8 a.m. That gives me time to knock that one out and then get to my other one, which is still in my area, my same zip code. Man, that'll be 3 in my zip code. So I'm just asking them to say, hey, let me do it at 8 a.m. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. See what happens. It's for $90. We'll see what happens and everything. But let me turn that sound down a little bit here. All right. So I hopped on here because I know a lot of people had some comments, and I hadn't seen any of the new comments concerning my little jokey joke about me breaking the notary pay system and everything. And I've had some people talk to me offline as well as online. And one of the constant, that's spam. One of the constant things that I've heard my whole entire time, and please understand, my comments aren't based off of just what I'm hearing people say now. I've heard these same statements the whole time I've been doing notary, okay? The whole time. Um, about, you have to be profitable. You have to make companies value you, and they need to know your worth. You need to know your worth so they'll know your worth. And the thing is, nobody is giving me what the formula is to determine that. What is the formula and what is the process to make a company look at you as valuable? What is the process? How do you go about making a company look at you as valuable? How do you get a company to look at you and say, you're worth $150 per signing instead of $85? What is the whole process involved in that? How do we go about doing that? And nobody has yet been able to show me how to go about doing that. I can't even think of how I go about doing it except by doing good notarial work when I execute these documents. So if I haven't done a whole lot of notarial work, how do I get a company to say I should pay him? Or not even really you're paying me, but when I send out a $150 order, I'm going to include Griff in the email notification or text message notification to have a chance to take to get this $150 order. What have I done in order to get them to include me in on the email notification or whatever other notification concerning that order for $150? What have I done? That's the question, because I had to have done something for them to consider me. Now, let's say I haven't really done anything, but now that's just considering me to get the email notification. What have I done for them to actually pick me? Now, they may be sending it to me because I'm in close proximity, But why would they pick me to do that order? That's the question. And what have I done? So looking at it from a business owner standpoint, you ask yourself, self, why would I pick this person to do this order? What criteria do they need to have met in order to influence me to pick them? What have they done? That's the question that really needs to be answered. What have you done? What are you doing? If your error rate is 30%, if you're getting docs back late, if you're not scanning back, if you're trying to force them to pay you to scan back, if you're trying to force them to pay you for this extra stuff and all of that, that's not going to bode well. And knowing that they can put comments about you in the back office of the different signing company things, platforms, and then you're acting a little wild, a little foolish, a little, on edge, a little touched. How's that going to make them feel confident that they can trust you? Because it's about trust, okay? Now, I know that a lot of people have spent tons of money on equipment and everything else to do this business. Therefore, you're trying to get a return on investment, and I'm not opposed to that. But again, I'm running my notary business, my signing company. I mean, I'm running my signing company as a signing company person. I don't care what you spend. That don't bother me. That don't affect me. So what? Nobody told you to spend $2,000 on whatever. I got an $85 order, and that $85 order, so this is an order right here for $90 on the 15th at 9 a.m. And I think I might already be booked. So I probably cannot do that. The 15th, yep, I'm already booked for that at 9 a.m. So, yep, but that was one I took earlier, and it's from the same. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, I'll say, I don't know why they sent that back out. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. I told you, y'all some good luck. Not that I really believe, and I don't believe in luck, but I'm just saying that as a figure of speech. But man, okay, all these orders coming in. All right. This is a part of the notary life. 4:30 on Friday the 12th. I cannot do that because I am already booked. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to tell them. Yeah. So in this case, since I'm in the same zip code, I just don't say I'm not available. I like to let them know I'm already booked. Already booked at that time. Because sometimes these companies might think, oh, you're trying to get some extra money. Although I want the extra money, but in all honesty, I'm just already booked at that time. So that way they don't think that I'm trying to be funny. Because, some people, they won't take an order because they're like, I want to get paid more. So that's not the case here. So as I was saying, how do you determine your worth? Of course, you have to figure that out. And if you say I'm worth $150 per signing, okay, fine. That's the dollar amount you placed on yourself. How do you get them to see the same way? Because keep in mind, we're the commodity, we're the actual stock. Okay. And just like, why would somebody pay $5,000 a share for Amazon? Amazon's price is what it is because somebody feels that it's worth that. Somebody wants to do it. And what has Amazon done to really prove that they're worth it? And if you understand anything in investing, not all companies are really worth the stock value price that you could pay for. Some companies are worth $10, but to be honest, they're actually valued at much more. But somebody's like, I ain't paying no more than 10. So it's what a person is willing to pay, but how do you go about making them see that you're worth more? That's the thing. So I'm not opposed to anybody believing that they're worth $150 per signing. The question is, how do you get that company to see you the same way? When I got, as a company, I got 300 notaries in an area that I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to assign this order to. And then you pop on the scene as a new notary saying, I want $150. Okay, that's nice. You can want whatever you want, but what are you doing to convince me that I should invest that into you? If my business model is that the max I can pay is 110, and you telling me I need to pay you 150, okay, well, just know this here, you won't be getting any signings here. Because if this is where I'm tapped out at, now, right now, somebody's saying, nah, they could pay more. Prove it. Well, look at the settlement statement. Settlement statement, just because it may say $700 or $1,000 that they're getting, does not mean that they can pay you 150 or 200. What's the proof? Where is it that where's your proof to say that they can pay you more? Where is it? And that's the thing. Nobody has ever shown me except saying, well, it's on the settlement statement. Look at the settlement statement. Again, does that really mean that they can pay you more? Well, they making $850, so they can pay you more, me more, and all of us more. Can they? Do you know what their financials are? You probably don't. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I get it, but where's the proof? And nobody's been able to do that. Nobody's been able to provide any real proof of that. You know, that's the real proof of beauty, the proof of that. That's what we need to prove that, okay, I am worth this, and this is how you calculate that. Because in business, you have to calculate these things. These toothpicks here. There's so many toothpicks in the thing. The plastic costs this much. That costs that much. Okay, you're going to charge 50 cents for that, or $1.25. Based off of what? I want somebody to pay me $1.50 for this pack of toothpicks. Why? I got some new earbuds. Okay, wherever they keep disappearing. I got some new earbuds. Everything keep disappearing. And I forgot how much. I can't remember. I think 59 bucks. Based off of what? What is that based on? What is it? Why is these valued at that? You see what I'm saying? So another thing that people have been talking about is profit. They've been talking about profit, that we need to be profitable. So y'all know how I am. I got to do my research. This here, just simple on Investopedia, what is the formula for calculating profit margins? And it says here, profit margins are perhaps one of the simplest and most widely used financial ratios in corporate finance. A company's profit is calculated at 3 levels on its income statement, starting with the most basic, gross profit, and building up to the most comprehensive, net profit. Between these two lies, operating profit, all three have corresponding profit margins calculated by dividing the profit figure by revenue and multiplying by 100. So if you really want to be business, not business, then you got to start digging down to this, because when you start talking about I need to be profitable, okay, how are you calculating your profit? So you have gross profit margin, which is the simplest profitability metric, because it defines profit as all income that remains after accounting for the cost of goods sold. So what is the cost of goods sold for the notary? Our time. So what did it take for us to get this here signing together and spend the time to do it? It costs X amount of dollars. How do we go about calculating that? The paper, the ink, the travel, all of that stuff costs. So we had to put all of that into it. And what is the cost of that? So in being assigned an $85 signing, what was the cost, the true cost? Because everybody said, well, this is how much it costs to print. And all. Okay, got it. What is the actual cost? How much did it cost me to do an $85 signing? And what am I calculating to determine that? I did 123 pages. Then there's a toner. Then there's my time to actually prep the documents, if I prep the documents. It's the material that I use to prep the documents. I got the clipboards. The clipboards are already paid, so that's not a recurring cost. You see what I'm saying? So when you start looking at things, the printer is already paid for. Is that a recurring cost? No. So what is the recurring cost to do each signing? And then you say, okay, here's the recurring cost. This is the cost to do the signing. This is how much I got paid for the signing. Therefore, here's my gross profit. That's what we have to do if we're going to start getting deep into this. And I know some people are like, man, you're getting too deep you're getting down into the weeds and all of that. But when you say it's not worth my time, it's not profitable for me to do this signing because of the dollar amount, because of what it takes for me to do it, then you have to define what does it take to do it. Now, I'll be honest, I've never personally calculated the actual cost to do an actual signing. That from the paper, talking about, I know how much it costs for my paper, my basic print. I'm looking for my little calculations that I did. I had a sheet over here that had all the different calculations or rough estimate calculations, and I cannot remember what I did with it. I put it somewhere, I can't remember. But if I find it, cool. If not, no big deal. I did find it. Knocking everything over in order to do that. All right. So again, as I talked about this before, to do, and I think I can bring the calculator up on this. Hopefully y'all should be seeing that. Yeah. All right. So hopefully y'all should be seeing this plain and simple as clear. All right. So $28.88 divided by 5,000 sheets. Okay. That's what it costs per sheet for letter paper if you're going to Walmart. If you're getting paper from Walmart at $28.88. Now that's not counting the tax and all that. I can't do that for every state. So basically, if you round that up, you're talking about 0.006 cents per sheet. Okay, 0.6 cents per sheet. That's less than 1 cent per sheet. Okay, then on Amazon, you're talking about $64.99 divided by 5,000, and you're talking about 0.013 cents per sheet. So if you drop off the 3, you're talking about basically 1 cent a sheet in legal. That's how much it costs. So taking the two, so let's just say, let's just do it this way. You got 180 sheets. So 180 page document, 90 of them times the 0.006 equals 0.54 cents to print 90 sheets. And then you got 90 times 0.013. So that's $1.17. All right. Plus the 0.54. So $1.71 to do 180 sheets. Okay. Just as a rough estimate, saying there's 90 letter and 90 legal all together, that's 180 sheets. And then times 2. So you're talking about, like I already calculated it before, $3.42 to do those sheets. So, I mean, that's $3.42. Yeah, times 2. Yeah, so that times 2, that's how much it costs. That's how much it costs. So $1.71, and it costs you to do 300, and I mean, to do those sheets, it costs $3.42 to print out 2 copies. To print out 2 copies of 180 sheets. If I did the math right, hopefully I did it right. If I didn't, please correct me in the comment section. But the bottom line is, it's not going to cost you $50, $30 to print if you have your own printer. And then you say, okay, and then when you add in the ink, you're probably talking about another $3 and some change. So you're still talking about $7, $8 to do your printing. And the signing is for $85. So let's just simply say $85 minus the 8. So now you're at $77. Then you have to figure out your gas. And let's just say the gas is going to cost you minus say $10 in gas round trip. So now you're at $67. Okay. So that hour of your time of doing the signing was $67 net profit, or gross profit of $67. So the question is $67 enough for you? And let's just say you get, in a month, you get 13 of those. So that 67 times 13, that's $871 gross profit. That's if you did 13 $85 signings. Is that enough for you? Does that help you? And that's 13 hours worth of work at $67 an hour. Are you making that in your regular job at $67 an hour? Are you getting $67 an hour, doing 13 hours worth of work, getting $871 as gross profit after your expenses? It's either yes or no. That's really what it boils down to. It's either yes or no. Are you getting that? Either you are or you are not. Which one is it? That's really what this boils down to. So looking back here, so now you have your operating profit, slightly more complex. Operating profit takes into account all the overhead, operating, administrative, and sales expenses necessary to run the business on a day-to-day basis. So when you start digging deep into this, talking about profit, what level of profit are you talking about? And how are you calculating it? And then the question is, how do you price yourself to basically have the dollar amount that you want? And that's why I think I said in a comment earlier, what is the percentage of profit that you want? What is the end result dollar amount? When I had a photography business, I wanted to spend no more than 40% of what I made in from that order in order, to actually produce the end result of the photography session. So if I did a wedding at $350, I really wanted to spend less. I wanted to make a $200 profit. So that meant up to $150 was allocated to actually producing the end product of the wedding, meaning buying the film, developing the film, getting the books and all of that kind of stuff, the shipping, all of that for $150. And then I made $200 profit on it. And then I do that times however many. That's how I calculated my gross profit. Then out of that $200 was other stuff that I may have needed to pay for, maybe memberships and things of that nature. Okay, so I calculated that. Now, how are you calculating this for your business? So the operating profit margin, the operating income, the revenue times 100. I'm not getting into the math part of this. And then the net profit, the infamous bottom line. What is the net profit? That reflects the total amount of revenue left overall after all expenses, additional income streams. Note here, additional income streams are accounted for. So this includes the COGS, the cost of goods sold, operating expenses as referred to above, but it also includes payments on debts, taxes, one-time expenses, and any income from investments or secondary operations. So in other words, if you have multiple streams of income, it helps to increase your net profit. If all you have is loan signing as your main stream of income, that makes it hard sometimes probably for you to have a net profit. That is why so many notaries are hopping out here and like consultation fee, mentorship fee, training fee, fee, because they're trying to have additional revenue come in that they can account toward their net profit. And they're trying to find, as I've already talked to y'all about, they're trying to have other streams of income that the expense to do them is very little. Very, very little. So the smaller amount of that it takes to do an online training course, once the online training course is built and all you're doing is paying $200 a month for the platform and you got the course stuff already built and you're charging people $180 to take that course, well, every two people has already paid for that course, for the platform per month. So all I need to do is get 3 to 5 people per month to sign up for my course at $180. And that covers, and once I get 2 people, anybody after the first 2 people each month, that covers my cost for the platform if the platform is $200 a month. Or if it's one of those other platforms out there for education that's like $39 a month or $69 or $59 a month, and I'm charging $180 for the course, well, guess what? All I need is one person a month to sign up, and that covers the cost for my platform. Everything after that is butter. See, these people ain't just looking at loan signing as a way of profitability. They understand, if you've been doing this a while, you understand there are some fixed costs with this here business, and then here's what they're going to pay. These companies are paying this amount. They keep pumping everybody, you better get 300. I ain't leaving the house unless it's 150 and all of that. That's fine. You can leave the house for whatever dollar amount you want. The question is, who's paying that dollar amount? And do I qualify to get it? And if I do qualify to get it, now I got to compete with these other people. Everybody can't be direct. It's that simple. Not every city, every state has a good direct system, companies that you can probably go direct with. So as a loan signing agent, notary signing agent, notary who does loan signing agent, however you want to call it, what are you doing to have additional income for your net profit? That's why I do the loan signing, I do the general notary work, I do the online depositions, I do the house inspections, and I do the RON stuff. 5 different ways I can bring money in. I have very expensive ways all the way down to hardly any money except for my time. And then here's the other thing with the profitability. As my accountant showed in the video that we did for an hour and some minutes, there's the deductions. So when somebody says, well, what kind of money are you making off of doing a $25 signing? Well, that mileage that it took for me to go do it is a part of the deductions at 56 cents a mile. Every order that I do, I'm getting 56 cents a mile deduction. When I go to drop the FedEx off, all of that is a 56-cent deduction per mile. So how am I not doing good, making money, being profitable if I have all of these deductions? What are the costs for my paper? All of those expenses, a lot of that stuff is deductions. You work with your accountant, it's deductions. The cost for me to have my LLC, the money that I paid for that, all of that, the tax preparation, all of those are different deductions that you get to take. And then that helps your bottom line out. But if you're just looking at the only way I can be feel value is if you pay me $300, I don't know how you're going to make it in this business. I'm just being real with y'all. I'm serious. Because I know you want to feel valued. I know you want to feel important. I know you want to feel. But sometimes running a business is not about feelings. It's about getting the job done. Let that sink in. If you're in this here because you want to feel a certain way, you want to feel important, you want to feel elite, you want to feel like, I'm getting paid my worth, because at my regular W-2, I'm not. You don't always feel value when you're running a business. But when you look at your bottom line and I see the freedom that I have, I see how I'm able to be here with my wife and my kids and my dad. Whereas if I was working at W-2, I wouldn't be here. That provides the value to me. So I don't look at a company making me feel good by just by how much they pay me. Oh man, they paid me $250. That means they value me. That means they just happen to have $250 to pay. There's a company that paid me $250. That'll probably be the only signing that I'll ever do for them. Versus a company that can pay me $85 20 to 30 times a month. And I know I got that money coming in every single month. I know I can get 20 to 30 signings with them at $85 a pop. But then there's this one company that whenever they do have a signing in the area, they're gonna pay me $250. Am I really valued with them? At that particular time, yes. Will that company, what if I'm happen to be busy? They say, well, we got a signing that needs to happen at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Well, I'm busy, but I can do it at 10:30. Nah, never mind, we'll get somebody else. Oh, guess they don't value me that much. I mean, that's the reality of it. That is truly the reality of it, people. So I'm not against anybody feeling the way they feel or wanting to be valued or wanting to get paid a certain amount. But you have to look at this realistically. How are you going to make a company see that you are worth this dollar amount that you placed on your own head? They don't know. Now you say, well, I'm gonna tell them. So when an order comes in, I'm gonna tell them, nah, you need to pay me this because of this. They're not concerned about your expenses. They're not concerned about your operating expense or any of that. They don't care. Look, we got this order to get done. Can you do it or can you not? Well, I can do it, but you got to pay me because it costs money to run this business. It costs money to run our business. I mean, it costs money to run any business. See, let me share something with y'all. And this is my personal opinion. I personally don't think a person is ready to run a business if they're constantly telling people this is how much it costs to run a business. So you got to pay me because I got bills and I got other things. I got childcare and I got this to pay for and that to pay for. So therefore you need to pay me this money so I can make sure my stuff gets paid. If that's your justification, if that's your reasoning for charging something, I got bills, and you're trying to tell everybody so that they can feel sorry for you. And I know some, but that might make a lot of people mad at me, but that's the only word I can think of. Or let's say have sympathy for you, like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You do have bills, so I'm gonna pay you some extra. That is not my concern as a signing aid company or as a title company. I'm not concerned about what you got to take out of your pocket for your daily life. Here's 180. Here's $110. You either take it or leave it. Nah, I need 150. All right, fine. Move, move, move. You 110. Here you go. I mean, that's how the world runs. You go take a W-2 job. Well, I really want to get paid $35 an hour. Well, all we got is 32.50. Which one you gonna do? What you gonna do? Case in point, there was a guy helped get a job. He wouldn't take the job because he wanted 50 cents more an hour. 50 cents. He wouldn't take the job because he wanted 50 cents more an hour. It wasn't that they was low paying him low or anything, but the way they worked was they pay you this. And then they said after 6 months, then we're going to bump you up to 50 cents an hour, more, 50 cents more an hour. And they told him that, and he was like, no, I need the 50 cents now. What? But you said you needed a job. Well, yeah, I need a job, but I need to make this much, with that 50 cent. And I'm like, I think let's just say 12.50 an hour. And I said, but they said they were going to pay you the additional 50 cent after 6 months. No, I ain't got time to be waiting on 6 months for the 50 cent. I need it now. And he wound up still being out of work for a long time. Might still be out of work all these years later. So I get it. I even had turned down the job. You know, they was offering me less than what I was making prior to coming to them, and I was like, and their justification wasn't there. I was like, what's your justification? And it was like, well, we can hire, no, web guys like you, a dime a dozen. So I mean, why would we need to pay you this? I said, okay, then go hire them. And I just go out here and figure a way to make it work. And then they went and tried to find it. They couldn't find anybody. They came back and said, okay, we'll pay you what you want. But see, with the notary, it doesn't roll that way. Because if you sit here and say, well, no, I need 85, I need 110, I need 125, well, we can pay 85. Well, no, I'm walking from that. Okay, fine. We'll get Earl over here. And they pay somebody else. So the bottom line is simply this. You need to really, if you're talking about being profitable, then you really need to set a dollar amount for what you say you want to get paid after your expenses. You want to make $95 per signing. If that's what your bottom line, that was what your net, is it your operating, is it your gross, is it your operating, or is it your net profit? So my net profit, I want to be at 95, then you're going to have to do some calculations, figure out how to get to $95 per signing after all of your expenses, operating and all of that comes out to 95, and then 95 times whatever gives me the dollar amount that I want. I mean, that's really that's how business is done. Have I personally done that? No. What I'm looking at is I need to make no less than $6,000 a month. I know what my operating expense for is paper and all of that I have to purchase, about 2,000, maybe 2,500, plus my vehicle and all of that I'm renting. So I know I got it. I'm like, okay, cool. But I also got other ways that I'm bringing money in to compensate that. So I'm good. So I know what I need as my gross. First, I need my gross. I need my gross to be this dollar amount, and then I can work with everything else there. And I know right now my profit for is after expenses and everything is going to be, and my owner's draw to pay my personal bills, it's going to be like, okay, I brought in this much, I paid all my notary stuff, memberships, and then house expenses. Okay, if I got 1,500, okay, that's good. So that's what I'm saying. You got to figure out what is it after all of your expenses, personal and business, what is it that you're trying to come out with? Are you trying to come out with $2,000 just sitting there at the end of each month? 500? What is it that you're trying to come out with? So just going around saying those companies you need to know your worth so that those companies will know your worth. How do you determine your worth and how do you communicate it to them? You need to be profitable. Doing a signing for that dollar amount isn't profitable. Okay, why isn't it profitable? How much did it cost me to do that signing? Did it cost me $85 to do a $25 signing? Did it cost me $110 to do a $95 signing? How much did it cost me to do this signing? And I would have to calculate that for each and every one. What are my fixed expenses? What are, other recurring expenses? All of that. How do I calculate that? These are things that you have to ask yourself as a business owner. And it can be calculated. Trust me, I know it can. I just haven't done it. But if I was to sit down one day and really break it down, I mean, I would literally have to break down, okay, how much does it cost? I'm scanning this paper. How do I value the cost per scan? How do I value my time to prep the documents? If I'm given an hour to do the signing and I spend 20 minutes doing doc prep, that means that should knock off some of the time that I'm with the customer. So I should be able to get in there and get done in under an hour. But if they start reading, they start doing other things, there's a problem. So now, even though I did the doc prep to save myself, say 10, 15 minutes, I've lost that time because now there's a problem with the documents and now I got to be here longer. So how do I value that time? How do I calculate that? Oh, okay, well, I'm losing money now because I'm not here an hour. I'm here an hour and 33 minutes. I'm here an hour and 15 minutes. Now that has eaten into my profitability. How? What is the dollar? What is my dollar amount per hour that I'm calculating the base off of? Is it the 85? Okay, so $85, and then that's divided by what's that? So 85 divided by 60 minutes. So you're talking about $1.41, $1.42 a minute. So 15, so that means if I'm 15 minutes over the hour, that right there cuts in, that's $21.25. So that's what that is. And then if I'm getting paid 150 divided by 60, that's $2.50 a minute times 15, that's $37.50 for 15 minutes over. So now that so we had earlier $67 as the gross profit minus, since it went longer, 21.25. So now that puts me down to $40, $45.75. My gross profit, because I went 15 minutes over and I'm calculating that time for that order of $85 at $1.42 per minute. And you got me here longer. So that's $21.25 that I'm not getting paid. That's free time to y'all. That's what we got to do if we're talking about accounting. Now, if I'm completely wrong or whatever, do you math whizzes, you accountants, feel free to correct me. And I'll be glad to do a Zoom with you so we can correct the numbers. But this is just my rough thing off of my top of my head and what I'm seeing and what I think. And if I'm wrong, then I'm cool with that. But again, I do know one thing, you still have to find a way to truly calculate your worth and say, my time is worth this. So you have to come up with a set thing. So if you're saying you want, $200 a signing and the signing's supposed to take 60 minutes, so that's $3.33 a minute that you want. So your time is $3.33. So when somebody comes with anything less than $200, that's not $3.33 a minute that you're getting paid. So that's what you want to get paid per hour, for each minute that you're investing, and nothing wrong with that. And that's just for you to do the signing. What if you got to do scan backs? What about your delivery time? How do you calculate that? Do you still calculate it on the same thing? So scan backs probably run maybe 8 minutes. So $3.33 times 8. So that's another 26.64 on top of the 200. And then the time it take to go drop the packages off the FedEx, that might be another 20 minutes times 20. So that's 66. So now you at 200 plus 66 plus 26. So now you're at 292. When you add all that time in, how do you calculate doc prep? How do you calculate the drive time? All of that, those are different factors, and how are you calculating that? That's what we have to look at, people. I didn't really intend for this video to be this long, but I figured it would be. I know this is a touchy subject, and I'm trying to flush out the misinformation because people are just making statements, but they're not bringing receipts, or at least attempting to bring receipts. They're just saying, know your worth, be profitable. How is that? What is that? Show me how to do that. That's really what we're asking on YouTube here, people. Show us how to do that rather than just say, you need to be profitable. That signing is not worth that amount. You need to get paid more. Okay, how do we determine that? What are the factors? Because if I'm going to negotiate, then I have to have the right information so I can negotiate with this company. How do I negotiate with this company and tell them, okay, $85 a signing is not good. You can, because literally people are saying, you can pay me more. Okay, how do you know they can pay you more? What are you basing that on? Well, I'm basing that on the closing disclosure because I've seen it, and this is what y'all are getting paid. So you have to be able to pay me more. So that's your one factor. The closing disclosure, the settlement statement says they got paid $900. Therefore, you can give me 200 of that. And that is what some people have literally said. I'm not just making this up, people. People have literally said this. And y'all know it. They got videos out there, all that saying, look at the settlement statement. So they got to pay us more. They have to pay us. There's no way they can't pay us more. Look at what they're making. But we don't know the backstory of what they got to, or what their expenses are. But you don't care about that. All you care about is they got $900 for this here order, and I'm getting only 125. Oh no, they got to pay me more. Wow. And nobody can give me that answer. I've yet to hear anybody truly give that answer. That's where I'm at with this. So I honestly love y'all, and I want y'all to be successful. But you got to start making money. Because once you start making money, then you can really truly see how profitable and unprofitable you are. But if you're just sitting here just claiming that you're worth something, you're worth something, you're worth something, and you're not doing anything to bring any kind of money in, it's just a lot of talk. So feel free to comment, blast me, tear me up, thumbs down, thumbs up. It's up to you. But I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. And if anybody has the formulas, the calculations, the way to do this, let me know. We'll do a Zoom meeting. I'll record it and then we'll post it so everybody can learn. It's just that simple. So right before you start blasting me and all of that, I'm wide open for any solutions, any suggestions to come up with how we can resolve this so that we can be profitable and so that we can know our worth and value and how to determine that. And then now we also got to know how to communicate that and negotiate that with said companies. That's what we got to do. And that's what I believe a lot of people want to know. And I'm wide open and my platform is available. If you have the answers, we can sit down and talk about it and we can put it out there for the whole public to do. And if you don't want to talk to me, then fine, do a video yourself and let me know about it so I can learn, because I'm always willing and ready to learn. All right. So I love y'all people. This was not meant to put anybody down or to make anybody feel bad. This is just my opinion. This is my thoughts. And if I'm incorrect, I stand corrected when you give me the correction. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.